Hey, if you have not subscribed, I'm currently at 692,307 beautiful subscribers, and you can add yourself to that list. I'm trying to get to 700,000 by the end of the week, and it's with your help that I'll be able to do that. I would appreciate your consideration in this very important matter. Let's talk about Donald Trump, the diminished nature of Donald Trump, the confused nature of Donald Trump, and media trying to get him over the finish line. He was on with Laura Ingraham yesterday. And she is asking him specific questions, pointed questions, as far as I'm concerned, good questions about JD Vance. And she's really, the nature of the question and what they're getting at is to try to reassure the American people that JD Vance wasn't a disaster, that picking him was not a disaster, that the advice that Eric Trump and Don Jr. gave him was not an absolute ticket-destroying decision. And she's asking about, what can you say to reassure America that JD Vance was an excellent vice presidential pick? And the answer Donald Trump gives is unhinged. It's all over the place. He starts talking about families with 400 children and just rewriting the narrative that JD Vance has given America about people should have votes for their children. Like if you have a family and you have 5 children, you should get a vote for yourself. Your wife should get a vote. And then if you have 5 children, you should get 5 extra votes to use for them. Like just absolutely extra constitutional, anti-democratic, just bizarre nonsense. He talks about childless cat ladies and just denigrates people who don't have families or can't have families. It's very weird. And instead of just dealing with it and talking about it, Donald Trump goes on this. It seems to me Donald Trump has no idea what's going on around him, no idea the things and the ideas that have been espoused by the man he hand chose to be vice president. He has no idea what's happening and just has to call an audible and just ramble until the questioner, in this case, Laura Ingraham, just kind of gives up and moves on to a different topic. So watch this. Very confused, clearly confused, Donald Trump try to assuage the nervousness of the country about the man he chose to be vice president.
A lot of predictable backbiting and media pig piles on your vice presidential choice, JD Vance. They're stereotyping him as some, out of control, knee-jerk, conservative, et cetera, et cetera. But some of it's coming from Republicans who I think want to go back to the days of open borders and perpetual war. How do you expect to use him in this campaign? And what can you say to our viewers tonight to reassure them that this was an excellent pick?
Well, first of all, he's got tremendous support. And he really does among a certain group of people that like families. I mean, he made a statement having to do with families. That doesn't mean that people that aren't a member of a big and beautiful family with 400 children around and everything else, it doesn't mean that a person he's not against anything, but he loves family. It's very important to him. He grew up in a very interesting family situation, and he feels family is good. And I don't think there's anything wrong in saying that. Now, they took that as an indication that people that don't have families, look, I could see. It's
an easy opening, right?
It's so crazy. Easy. But I know so many people, they never met the right person, male or female, they just never met the right person. They're unbelievable. They're every bit as good as anybody else that has the most beautiful
So what do you say
family.
to women out there watching? He's addressed it, but what do you say to women out there watching who may not have kids?
I think they understand it. No, I think they understand it.
Not confidence inspiring. And this is listen, Republicans had a chance. This is the thing that gets overlooked a lot, and it's obvious. The Republicans had a chance to pick someone else to be their nominee. You had the robotic and unnatural and unlikable, fundamentally, Ron DeSantis. They had Nikki Haley, who was also a fascist enabler in Donald Trump's first administration. They had choices, and they went with this. overwhelmingly, they decided Donald Trump was their guy. They have suspended all reason and rationality and thrown their lot in with Donald Trump. They want this. He is the cult leader. Anything he says is good. Anything he does is good by their estimation. And this is ultimately what you get, is media having to be his crutch, having to try to steer him in the direction of a coherent answer when he is just incapable of doing it. And I think it's because he's not paying attention. He is on autopilot from a 2016 and 2020 campaign where he just says the same things. I mean, he's talking about voting for Joe Biden still when Joe Biden is no longer the nominee. But this is what they want. More than anything, this is what they want. And America's going to give it to them, which is not a Donald Trump presidency. In large measure, barring any interference from legal bullshit and anti-democratic moves, Kamala Harris will be the next president of the United States. And we will have avoided disaster until the next 4 years when the next probably not cult leader like Donald Trump, the weird hold he has over the electorate, the MAGA electorate, but it's going to be somebody maybe more dangerous because they'll be able to think clearly and put into practice a plan and execute on that plan. It won't be, I'm going to build a wall and Mexico's going to pay for it, and then having no intention of doing that. It'll be someone who will be able to accomplish the fascistic agenda items. Anyway, what do you think? I'd love to know. You can leave a comment below. You can also call, leave me a brief single voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. A note on the emails. If you email me like 20 times a day, very likely you're going to get blocked because it just slows. I read emails. I listen to voicemails. So it's a massive waste of my time to try to sift through somebody who's just sending me links to their tweets. Like, no, that's not what that's for. But you do you, just end up on a block list. I do love and appreciate you. If you like the same for me, if you like the cut of my jib, if I'm your flavor of political commentator, as I often say, please consider supporting this work. Click the join button below. For $2 a month, you can help produce these videos by becoming a channel member. You can go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. More importantly, though, make sure you're subscribed. Help me get to 700,000 subscribers. I would appreciate it very much. I'm at Dollemore everywhere. If you're on social media and you're looking to follow somebody, I tweet some good stuff. There's some good stuff I do. I'm worth it. I'm capable. I'm reaching. Anyway, I love and appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.